Good evening, everyone. This is Melissa Thomas with Florida National News coming to you with the evening news rundown for your Thursday, July 9th, 2020. Can't believe it's already this late in the year. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, we'd like to give you the latest reports globally here in the United States and in the state of Florida as it relates to COVID-19. So according to the World Health Organization, we are currently seeing over 11.8 million confirmed cases and over 545,000 confirmed deaths. Here in the United States, we're seeing over 3 million confirmed cases, according to Johns Hopkins University, and we are at over 132,000 confirmed deaths. Here in the state of Florida, most alarmingly, we are at well over 232,000 confirmed cases, and we have passed the 4,000 mark in confirmed deaths due to COVID-19. Now, our world story today, Africa, the continent in total has passed the 500,000 mark in number of confirmed cases. According to the Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, they are reporting over 509,000 confirmed cases continentally. Now South Africa has, for another day in a row, reported over 10,000 cases. So South Africa has become a bit of a hot spot. Globally speaking, the country currently makes up 43% of the continent's confirmed cases. And the true numbers of confirmed cases for COVID-19 in Africa are not as accurate due to a shortage of testing supplies there. The population in the continent is about 1.3 billion people. So the World Health Organization's Africa chief, they said last week that the shortage is a tremendous problem and a real crisis of access in terms of access to testing equipment. Given the shortage, a lot of the testing was taking place in capital cities throughout Africa. However, the virus was spreading beyond the boundaries of those capital cities. According to the World Health Organization, COVID-19 has already killed more people than Ebola did in its deadliest outbreak from 2014 to 2016 in West Africa. And this is according to the World Health Organization. As of right now, over 12,000 people have lost their lives in Africa due to COVID-19. So right now they're stuck in a bit of a conundrum because according to the World Health Organization, the continent has just 2.2 health workers and 0.3, if that's a possible number, 0.3 doctors per 1,000 people. So the conundrum here is that due to the global shutdown, supplies couldn't come into the continent. And now that airplanes are now flying again, there's a surge in cases. So now that becomes a safety issue. Our Watch This Space will continue to keep you guys posted on that. Now, jumping here to the United States, all eyes are on Texas because within the past week, given a study of the data over the last week, Texas is now accounting for nearly 14% of new US COVID-19 cases. Since July 1st, the US has reported over 358,000 new infections, and of those, 50,599 are coming out of Texas. So, of course, this is over the last week, and the daily average in Texas has been over 7,200 cases per day average. So again, you always hear us at Florida National News tell you, protect your hands, wash them, sanitize them, glove them, and make sure you wear your mask and practice safe and social distancing. Experts are saying that Texas is a bit of a hotspot now, and more aggressive measures are needed to slow the spread there. So we'll continue to keep you guys posted with that as well. Jumping down here to the state of Florida, Florida lawmakers are pushing to get more Remdesivir to the state as the supplies have now run low. Congressman Darren Soto and 12 other Florida Democratic members of Congress have sent a letter to the Department of Health and Human Services calling for a resupply, an expedited resupply of the medication because the Florida Department of Health has temporarily exhausted all of its stock of the drug. Doctors across the region have said that the medication, which was once used to treat Ebola, has helped them manage the increase in patients because it's a treatment option and it has shortened hospital stays. However, they're having to hold back on offering it now due to the shortage. Orange County had received additional supplies of Remdesivir back in June, but now they too are running low. Now, the Department of Health and Human Services is set to implement a new distribution model for the drug next Monday, July 13th. But Congressman Darren Soto says it's a lot more urgent than that. He said, quote, "We need this done like yesterday." So again, we'll keep you guys updated with that. But in the meantime, we're going to take a quick commercial break and come back with more news stories for you.
My name is Russell Drake. I'm an Orange County resident and a community advocate. On August 18th, I'm voting for Rick Singh. Rick Singh has been an outstanding property appraiser for the last 7 years. Under his leadership, he has returned $1 billion to the county. Under his leadership, property value has gone up, and he is now managing over $206 billion in assets, the most in county history. Under his leadership, there have been a series of awards won by his hard-working staff. He has set the tone for that. Furthermore, he's a man of his word. He's no stranger to the community. From the east to the west, from the north to the south, property appraiser Rick Singh is in the community. He held a series of homestead exemption seminars around the county, catering to your needs. Rick Singh is here for the people. So on August 18th, I encourage you and everyone you know to vote Rick Singh, re-elect him for property appraiser.
Re-elect Rick Singh for Orange County Property Appraiser.
All right, guys, welcome back. Now, in a bit more news for you, you heard us report yesterday about the new ICE guidelines regarding visas for international students and how they will initiate a removal process for students who are only taking all virtual classes in the fall. They require the students to be taking at least one in-person intuition course in the fall. Well, two Ivy League schools, Harvard and MIT, are not having it. They are suing ICE over those new guidelines. And in the lawsuit, they filed a lawsuit with the U.S. District Court for Massachusetts. The lawsuit seeks to get a temporary restraining order and a preliminary and permanent injunctive relief that would prevent the Department of Homeland Security and of course, ICE from removing any foreign students if their universities are not holding in-person classes in the fall. Now, several other schools in the region, Cornell, Dartmouth, and Princeton, they've also announced that they're going to support Harvard and MIT's lawsuit. Now, the two universities mentioned in the lawsuit, quote, ICE's action proceeded without any indication of having considered the health of students, faculty, university staff, or communities. The reliance of both students and universities on ICE's statements that the pre-existing exemptions would be, quote, in effect for the duration of the emergency posed by the COVID-19 pandemic, which continues to this day, or the absence of other options for universities to provide their curricula to many of their international students. So the schools also, in their lawsuit, alluded to the fact that the federal government was forcing schools to reopen, even though they were worried about the public health and safety risk, given the pandemic was still ongoing. So the plot thickens. We'll continue to keep you guys updated. Jumping back down here to the state of Florida, and a bit of jaunty news. St. Pete announced that its new bus system that will be launched in a few years has a new name. They announced the name on Wednesday. The PSTA unveiled the name Sunrunner for the bus rapid transit system, the first of its kind in the Tampa Bay area, that will transit people from downtown St. Pete to the beaches, to St. Pete beaches. So it will cut down their commute to about 30 minutes. And Florida Senator Darrell Rouson said, quote, people don't have to spend 2 or 3 hours taking 2 or 3 buses to get to a job. They'll be able to spend 30 minutes to get into a job, and that's significant. The bus system will allow residents and tourists to easily enjoy the beaches and the downtown area without the stress of traffic. So congrats to the St. Pete and Tampa Bay area for that. Groundbreaking on the Sunrunner is set to begin next month and will take about 18 months to complete, with the completion date in early 2022. So some great news there. We're going to take another quick break and come back with your business and sports news.
At Taco John's, you can expect one thing, so good, as in quality ingredients used in tacos and burritos. At Taco John's, you can expect one thing, so good, as in quality ingredients used in tacos and burritos made just for you. Every single bite.
So good.
Expect nothing less at Taco John's.
All right, guys, welcome back. That was a quick break, right? Literally 15 seconds. All right, so in our business news today, and a bit of unfortunate news, there will be substantial layoffs coming to the Rosen hotels in the Central Florida area. You likely have, if you've traveled to Orlando, you're likely familiar with many of those hotels. All 8 Rosen hotels will be experiencing layoffs among their staff. Now, the company made this announcement on Wednesday. They didn't announce how many employees they will be letting go, but they did confirm that they will be making layoffs as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic and the sharp reduction in tourism as a result. Now, in a statement that he issued to Wesh 2 News, Harris Rosen, who is the president and COO, said in his statement, quote, "Never in the 46-year history of my company would I have envisioned such a drastic decision. This is especially painful for me as I have considered these valued associates as extended members of the Rosen family, without whose contributions our company would never have achieved the success it has through the years." Now, for his part, Rosen did express concern for the Orlando economy back in May when he met with Vice President Mike Pence. So we know and he's a philanthropist in the area, so this is something that has hit him particularly hard. And again, we'll continue to keep you guys updated. Now, jumping down to sports news, there's some good news and some bad news. We'll start you with the good news first. Jimmie Johnson has been cleared by NASCAR to return to racing after 2 consecutive negative virus tests. The 7-time NASCAR champion had to sit out last Sunday's race after he tested positive last Friday for COVID-19. And this was on the heels of his wife having received a positive result. And that particular absence actually broke his incredible streak. He had been starting in 663 consecutive races, which is the most among active drivers. So congrats to Jimmie Johnson for that level of commitment. And of course, he is excited to return. NASCAR made the confirmation and announcement on Wednesday for him to return. So he will be back in the number 48 Chevrolet at Kentucky Speedway this coming Sunday. So make sure to tune in to catch that particular race. Johnson is actually the only NASCAR driver to have tested positive since the series began or resumed racing back on May 17th. And of course, as you all know, he is set to retire at the end of this season from full-time NASCAR competition. Now, in a bit of kind of not so good news, in the MLS tournament, Nashville SC has had to withdraw from that particular tournament due to the number of players who have tested positive for COVID-19, similar to what FC Dallas had to do as well. Now, Nashville SC is reporting that they have 10 players who have tested positive due to COVID-19. They were set to play against Chicago Fire, but due to the withdrawal now, Chicago Fire has had to switch from one group to the other. They're switching from Group A to Group B in the competition. The MLS is back tournament resumes, but with a few other changes. But the tournament goes on. So we're going to continue to keep you guys posted on that. And Casey will talk a little bit more about that tomorrow when she comes back with the FNN Sports Take. In the meantime, I'm going to take one more commercial break and be back with your entertainment story. Stay tuned.
It takes experience to know the difference in property values. For example, this business is not the same as this business. And this house is definitely not the same as this house. And this, well, this is definitely not the same as this. And that's why it's important to have someone who understands true property appraisals to help our community grow, while making sure everyone pays their fair share. Because experience matters. Re-elect Rick Singh for Orange County Property Appraiser.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. And we wrap up with your entertainment story. Former Fox News anchor Shep Smith has found a new home over at CNBC. He'll be getting his own evening newscast. They hired him, and the show will be called The News with Shep Smith, which will air Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., so prime time slot. And of course, he's coming from Fox News at 23 years there, 23-year veteran. And as you likely have remembered, he resigned from Fox last October to be specific, in a surprise move. He chose to step down. Now, CNBC Chairman Mark Hoffman said that Smith's newscast will be the, quote, perfect bridge between CNBC's daytime investor-focused news programming and the network's aspirational business-oriented entertainment programs in prime time. So congratulations to Shep Smith. He will become CNBC's chief general news anchor as well as chief breaking general news anchor, and he is set to start next Monday, July 13th. So great news for him. That does it for us here at the Evening News Rundown. I know it was a Thursday, so you're probably wondering what happened to Jamicia. She will be here tomorrow for a special day to make up for today. She was kind of in transit on the move in between things. So you'll see her tomorrow. She'll join us tomorrow for the Entertainment 4 for 4. And of course, it is Friday tomorrow, so we have a packed schedule here at Florida National News. At 1 p.m., Jenny Rosario de Casiano will be back with the Entertainment Buzz, where she'll be interviewing Jordan Woods Robinson, who is actually one of the Blue Men for the Blue Men Group. So that's kind of exciting. Be sure to tune in live at 1 p.m. Eastern time for that interview. I'll be back at 5 p.m. with the Evening News Rundown, and Casey will be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern with the FNN Sports Take. That does it for us here, guys. If you haven't already, be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. You'll find us at Florida National News on Facebook, at FNN News TV, and FNN News Live. And on Instagram and YouTube, you'll find us at Florida National News as well. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube and click the bell so you get all notifications. But thank you guys, as always, for tuning in. Have a great rest of your evening. Take care.